Hi there, and welcome to today's reading. Today we're going to be looking at the most important message for you for your personal healing. We have 4 groups, so whichever image that you were most drawn to in the cover image of this video is going to be the reading for you. And if you need a moment, feel free to pause this video if you want to just meditate on like a number or one of the images of the cards or the rocks. You're welcome to do so. Personally, I find that whatever the first one is that you're drawn to is usually the message for you. So let's get started with group 1. Group 1, you chose this green stone. I've had it for so long that I actually don't know what it is. Like, this is a stone that I've had since childhood. I wonder if that somehow is connected to this reading for you, something dealing with childhood or something that's been with you for most of your life that you're working on healing. So maybe at this point in your life, it's not as intense or I don't know, like right in your face, but maybe it's something that's been with you for a long time. And maybe it's something that's even subtle for some of you. This rock is green and makes me think of the heart chakra. It's a very light shade of green. So it really does make me think of gentleness, softness, kindness, and compassion. So let's look at your oracle card. Your card is Angel, and it says tap into your higher wisdom. Very beautiful. So I do feel as though your healing medicine is through tapping into the higher heart, and through tuning into a more spiritual wisdom of love, compassion, kindness, and caring. I do feel for this group, higher perspectives are very available to you, and you're just being reminded to tap into that wisdom that either you've been naturally blessed with or you have spent time cultivating. I do feel for this group too that you might be someone who is like an earth angel, or you have the presence of angels around you. So if you have been struggling, or if you just would like a helping hand, you can call on your guides and your angels. You may even be a star seed. I'm just noticing the star in that image. And maybe that's where a lot of your wisdom has come from, is through past lives on different planets, or through downloads from your star tribe. So we're going to just get a couple more cards from the Skeletal Tarot. This is the tarot deck that I painted back during quarantine. It's all skeletons and pastels. So we're going to ask just for a final message about this, of how to integrate this, or even a message for some people from their angels. It's too many cards, so I'm not going to take them. Moving on from sadness or pain through seeing the cups half full instead of half empty, so that when you embark on this new phase of your life, you will be attracting what you want and not what is missing. There might be something about setting boundaries with people who mistreat you, and understanding that as someone with a compassionate heart, it's still important to be able to set healthy boundaries and enforce them and maintain them as well. What's the message for group 1 with this angel card? The most important message for group 1 in regards to their healing. Magician kind of wanted to pop out. So just being aware of the way that you create your reality. This feels like a very high vibrational group, or having the potential to be, because you can also create suffering for yourself if you dwell there. It can be really hard to find that balance of fully integrating different wisdoms or wisdom traditions while not bypassing your own feelings. So that might be part of this, is transforming the way that you integrate different wisdoms into your life in order to help you feel fully empowered and at peace. Okay, we can take these. You have the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom, which this card to me is always about tending the seeds in the garden of your mind, tending to your intentions, tending to your body, your routine, especially what's in your mind. So making sure that you're meditating and weeding out any undesirable projections onto your reality. And taking the time to really sit with them, though. It's not just like, maybe you have a reoccurring thought of like, oh, I'm ugly or something. It's not necessarily just saying an affirmation of like, I'm beautiful, with hopes that that'll just sort of write over why you think you're ugly, in this example, but really meditating on this and like going back to, I feel like especially childhood, since I was saying at the beginning, this stone is one that I've just had for as long as I can remember, and really asking why you believe what you believe and really sitting with it so that you can actually heal it and not just write over it. I wonder if that's part of this, is fully integrating wisdom traditions so that you're able to fully embody it and not just use it to like erase what you don't like. You also have the moon on the bottom of the deck, which can talk about your subconscious. So I do feel like for this group, it's really going into your subconscious and your subconscious beliefs, and how that might impact your heart, the way that you love, your balance too, because that is the balance between the upper world and lower world, is your heart. So if you feel out of like balance sometimes, really again sitting with different behaviors that you might do that throw you out of whack, or different again thoughts that might throw you out of whack, or even things that you allow into your life, and why. Like you're really doing a deep dive into the subconscious, into the why. You have the King of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, so I wonder here, you have the King of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. I wonder if these are people in your life, because you also have the Two of Cups, that perhaps have thrown you out of balance. You also have the Knight of Wands. So there's kind of three people and three energies here. One thing that's coming up is action without really thinking. I wonder if you're somebody who either like really overanalyzes, and that's what sort of leads to the suffering. Yeah, I feel like that's what this is really like overanalyzing and maybe not trusting how you feel. Because with the Wands cards, I really get like, the Page of Wands and the Prince of Wands are very like fast, like they don't question it. which usually comes from a place of like deep knowing or feeling, as well as trusting that no matter what happens, things will be okay. And so I feel as though you worry that if you like act like instinctively or act without like going over it in your mind a bunch, or even if you maybe do if there's like an action that doesn't seem very logical, you're someone who will sort of like tend to just keep yourself safe instead of just listening to what you feel. And I feel like the message here is to lean a little bit into trust and play as well, and sort of seeing life as more of like a game than a test, right? Like allowing yourself to come into experiences without overanalyzing, like how do they see me? How are they going to treat me? Are they going to take advantage of me or bully me? And really just lean into trusting yourself, trusting your feeling. If you're drawn to something, let yourself be drawn and trust yourself to be able to create healthy boundaries or stand up for yourself if you need to. And trust that, people will only walk all over you if you let them. So there's a way in which, your different philosophies of, how you engage with other people, how you engage with yourself, and then the way that you actively do in the world is being healed right now. And again, I wonder if this has to do with a childhood or like a past in which, maybe if you did something too spontaneously or without thinking, like something bad happened or you were punished, or if you had parents who were very like over analytical or serious, and maybe like that painted a little bit of your childhood or your past is like a seriousness to life, maybe because there was a lot, like maybe specifically with a father figure too, since we have a King of Pentacles here, like because there were so many things going on, your parents were really afraid that if you were left to just be spontaneous and do what you wanted, like something bad might happen, and that might have been internalized for some of you. I also wonder, and this is just for like a very few of you out there, when I see King of Pentacles, and especially how he's pictured here, he kind of looks like a boss, and I always picture him as like a boss man. And I wonder if, okay, two things. There's so many stories here, obviously, because like more than one person is going to be hearing this. For one of you, your work might not be satisfying you. And so coming into your heart is going to help you tune into what feels good and what doesn't. I feel like that's the main overarching theme for group one. What feels good and what doesn't, and what can I do to help align myself with what actually does, and to follow my heart and trust that if I lean into what feels good, I will be okay. The world isn't going to fall apart. And I deserve to be happy and experience joy. For some of you, there is an authority figure who sees your suffering and wants to help you somehow, but maybe they also have a lot on their plate. So again, take it as it resonates for you. Again, there's a handful of people who will watch this, but I do feel like you're being called to take a more lighthearted approach in your relationships with others. So that you can open your heart, because from this place of constantly worrying about how am I going to be perceived, how am I going to be treated, what are they going to think of me, what are they going to do to me, that sort of feeling out of control is preventing you from being able to connect with people. And so if you can sort of open that up, have no expectations, but trust yourself, trust the universe, trust other people, it's really going to help you to connect with people better and have a more lighthearted approach in life. So that's your message, group 1. I hope that resonated with you. If it really resonated and you want to go deeper, you're welcome, of course, to book a personal reading with me. My website is in the description. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and happy healing to you, group 1. Okay, moving on to group 2, let's begin your reading. So the stone that you chose actually isn't a stone at all. This is Himalayan salt. This was gifted to me by a friend who was about to go travel. There was an exchange, actually. I gave him a stone of travel and he gave me this stone. So I feel like maybe that's part of the message, is like giving and receiving gifts, as well as healing and purification with the Himalayan salt. I think of like salt caves and soothing, like salt lamps, soothing oneself, even like saltwater baths, like purifying and drawing out toxins. So something with like drawing out whatever has been like making you sick, since we're talking about medicine, right? And this could be something spiritual, mental, emotional, or physical that has been creating dis-ease in you, and it's being drawn out perhaps through reciprocity, giving and receiving. But let's take a look at your card. So your oracle card is dance. It says move to the rhythm of your soul. That is gorgeous. Yeah, so definitely for this group, movement will be medicine for you. I feel especially joyful movement with dancing, as well as opening up your self-expression, opening up your body, sort of freeing yourself in this way. Another message I feel, I'm just like noticing, there's a few people here, there's like 4 people. So part of this is like that opening to giving and receiving love and sharing your time and energy with others. I feel spending time in community and healthy community. Maybe even just like going out and dancing with people. There's also something here about like following your own path with move to the rhythm of your soul. So with this, let's get another message for group 2. What is the medicine in this, or what is their higher self want them to know? What does the universe want them to know? Group 2, the Sun card. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, so this group especially is being really called to embrace childlike joy, to embrace self-expression. The Sun in astrology talks about how we show up to the world, how we express ourselves in the world. It also talks about, children, lightness, lightheartedness, seeing the beauty in things, too, seeing the beauty around you. You have the 9 of Pentacles at the bottom and the 4 of Swords at the top. So it's kind of like coming into your power as somebody who is independent and stable and successful in their own, and trusting that you don't have to like force that. You can allow yourself time to rest, to meditate, to be still. And that's going to help open this energy up more for you. Are there any more messages for group 2 about their medicine? Anything else about the medicine for group 2? You have the 3 of Wands, and this feels like the final message for you, group 2. I feel like you're already in a really good place, and so this is just reaffirming probably what you already know, what I've already said. And then the 3 of Wands talks about new horizons. Now, for some of you, this could be actually like traveling. The 3 of Wands can talk about travel over water. It can also talk about expanding your consciousness and the way that you think, expanding beyond limiting thoughts, limiting situations. And so again, this is going to change for everyone in this group, but you are being asked to expand beyond your comfort zone and you know, for some of you, it might even just be like putting yourself out there in community and expanding beyond like your comfort zone of like your home or the friend group or, you know, people that you have been spending time with. Yeah, this group, it feels pretty straightforward. Like you've already been doing the healing, and so I don't feel like I need to like beat a dead horse here. So group 2, that was your message. Get out there, dance, be in community, be joyful, and expand. Let yourself expand beyond what you've known, because it's a really fruitful time for that. It's going to help you fully align with your path so that you can sustain this expansive energy that you're in. So group 2, thanks for watching. If this resonated with you and you'd like to book a personal reading to go deeper, you can find that information in the description below. And just thank you always for supporting the channel. Happy healing, group 2. Okay, group 3, this will be your reading. You chose, I believe this is Tektite. This was given to me by somebody. Tektite to me reminds me of the cosmos, so you might be somebody who's very like out there, and that's why you were drawn to this group, because this is a very like alien-y stone. Maybe part of your healing will have to do with grounding that energy to earth. We got a ding, so powerful message for you. Let's take a look at your oracle card. You have color. It says express your true feelings. Yeah, so I wonder if there has been a lot happening in like the mental or spiritual realm that hasn't been expressed yet. And that's part of, you know, drawing those things into earth. Part of the medicine for this group is going to be allowing yourself to take what's happening on the inside and bringing it into the external world. So for some of you, that will be through art. It will be through, you know, painting or music, singing, writing. For others of you, it might be actually taking different things that you know deeply or intuitively or spiritually and bringing that into the world and expressing those philosophies or intuitions in the physical world. You might be somebody who, you know, and maybe you haven't been on Earth a ton of times, and that's why this can be really hard to fully embody it, because maybe you've, you know, existed in places before that, you know, you were already being it through holding it in your energy. And And so you're being called to fully express whatever this is for you. I do feel as though there's something happening with the throat chakra for this group, just because even when I was sort of introducing it, I sort of felt like my words didn't want to come out eloquently, right? I sort of felt the block there in being able to speak in a way that was fluid. So what is a message for group 3 about their healing? The most important thing they need to know for their medicine for group 3. This is like the skeletal tarot, so this is the deck that I painted during COVID. Beautiful. You have the 6 of Wands. Okay, and this also came out in my hand, so we're going to take it too. This is a really gorgeous. I'm going to tell you about the cards that fell out, and then we're going to look at what's on the top and bottom of the deck, because I feel like they really pertain to this too. So the first card that fell out was the 6 of Wands, which talks about success, being seen in the spotlight, being acknowledged for what you've done. I feel like this is like, for some of you, if you've already been doing your art or your craft, bringing it into the public eye, because maybe there has been a fear that it's like not good enough or not worthy of being seen. And so this is just Spirit letting you know that it's beautiful and it is worthy of being seen, and you're worthy of being seen. That can include with your words. So if there's something that you've been needing to express to somebody with words, that's also worthy of being received. It's not helping anyone to hold it inside. It's really important that you let it move through you. And just trust that whatever this is, that it will be successful. You don't have to worry about like something bad happening from expressing yourself. And then you have the Judgment key. And what I was really drawn to with these is like both of their hands are up. So I feel like there's kind of a surrender here. Like a surrender to the divine, surrender to a higher power, surrendering yourself to be a creative vessel for some of you. Because there's this gift that's like being given to you. I feel like, and I'm being really drawn to like, with the Tektite, that this group does feel very celestial. And I feel like there's a gift that you've had from many lives that you've had not on Earth. And again, this is like welcoming that gift onto Earth. Like your gift is really needed here. I feel that really strongly with this group. Like you have a really potent and powerful gift. And my phone is just going nuts too with this group. So I feel like that's just like confirming all of this. You have a really important gift, and you may have been keeping it to yourself for some reason, like feeling like it's not good enough, feeling like you need to hide yourself. And so there's something with that is being healed, and it starts with allowing yourself to create what you want to create, and allowing yourself to put it out there, and not be attached to how it's received, because you can trust that there are going to be people who appreciate it and who appreciate you. Again, whether that's art, like whatever the self-expression is for you, it could be just speaking your truth. At the bottom of the deck, you have the Universe card. So in this deck, there are 2 versions of the World card. This is the more celestial one. Surprise! So this talks about grand karmic cycles being completed, sort of like you have overcome something. I do feel like in this context, this is literally you sitting at the center in these stars, like in a deep meditation, like really absorbing this truth of yourself. I feel like it's probably really easy for this group to go into meditation. This is like your natural state. And that's what helps you create. That's what helps you express yourself. That's what helps you channel that energy through you, is allowing yourself to go into those meditative states. And then finally, we have the 6 of Pentacles, which talks about reciprocity, giving and receiving. So I feel like here you can trust that, you're giving through expression, And just trusting that as you put yourself out there like that, you will receive in return. And again, this is going to look different for each of you. For some of you, this could be that, as you give yourself to your art, as you allow yourself to be a channel for the divine, you can trust that you will receive everything that you need. Also, like opening yourself to receiving these divine inspirations is actually being in reciprocity with spirit. You are like a vessel in this lifetime for that, and so you can trust that as you open to it, you will continue to receive this inspiration, and these gifts will continue to flow through you, and you'll receive in return. Also, your truth is very important. So I do feel like this is about reciprocity too, of like, if you haven't been speaking your truth, just know that your truth will be received. It's really important that you share what's been, on your heart, on your mind. That's the key for this group. Okay, so that is all I have for you, Group 3. I hope that this reading was helpful for you. If it resonated and you would like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description below. And just thank you again for showing up and supporting my channel. It really brings light to my life and my heart to get to connect with others in this way, getting to connect with spirit and with the art in these cards and with the global community. So thank you again, and happy healing to you, Group 3. Okay, Group 4, welcome to your reading. So the stone that you were drawn to, Group 4, is Snowflake Obsidian. Snowflake Obsidian to me talks about the material world, the root chakra, that which grounds us here to the earth, the body, protective energy even with Snowflake Obsidian. So this group, part of your medicine, I feel, is in grounding yourself. Let's look at your card. We have family. It says explore your sacred root system. Beautiful, yeah. Roots, earth, physical world. I feel like you are being asked to help heal some of your family karma, potentially trauma that has been lived throughout different generations of your family, and your ancestors are with you and really helping to support you through healing your line. We're going to pull some tarot cards to go deeper about this. This is with the Skeletal Tarot, so this is the deck that I painted during quarantine. It's all watercolor and skeletons, very fun, light-hearted, and pastel-y. There's some kind of resistance. I wonder if you might have had something happen in your family members who have been, alive during your lifetime that has sort of made you not want to connect as much with your family, or has made you feel sort of alienated from your family. And that might be why you've been resistant to this healing. Specifically, maybe with a female family member. Something that happened in childhood for some of you. I wonder if there's something with like lack mentality or like poverty mindset. Perhaps actually living in poverty, or even feeling like left out. Like maybe you felt like who, like maybe you were like the black sheep or the scapegoat of the family, and that's why you haven't been wanting to engage in this healing because you just don't want anything to do with your family because you always felt like the odd one out anyway. So it's like, why is it, my responsibility to do this healing when I don't even feel like included in this family unit? So that might be the message for some of you. What's the medicine for group 4? You have the Page of Cups. That's really beautiful. Yeah, so, and there's a few more that flipped over in here that we'll look at after. But the Page of Cups to me talks about the inner child healing. If you were drawn to this group, and maybe group one might have some messages for you as well. But the Page of Cups talks about returning to childhood. That might be through doing, some sort of meditation or past life regression on the inner child. It might also be letting yourself get creative, letting yourself draw, paint, be a little dilettante, and just have fun expressing yourself, playing, doing dress up, doing make-believe, reading fantasy. I wonder too about escapism with the Page of Cups. Like if you're somebody who has maybe been this way throughout your life and felt like that wasn't okay because maybe your family was more grounded because of something to do with like lack or poverty, and so the way that you were seen by them was maybe scary to them because it was like they could never be that way because they had to do other things. They had to be more rooted in the physical world, and so I feel like that may have been what created this weird dynamic for you in your life, and it's also the medicine for you to let yourself return to that way of being, and to really lean into it, at least throughout this healing process. So because that's like our subconscious mind, right? When we're children, that's when our subconscious mind is really being impressed upon by those around us and by our external world. So the cards that flipped over for you, you have the Three of Pentacles. When I see this card, kind of how I portrayed it, you see there's like this older, bigger person helping this little kid build a sandcastle. And this can be taken two ways. One is like, there are people, like elders in your life who want to help you. And the other one would be that there are people who have passed on. You see there's like a halo, like guides of yours who have worked on some of this healing or who are beyond the veil that are really wanting to help you with this process. I feel like there is assistance for you, and this could be in like stability, again with healing the lack mentality that might be in your family, because Three of Pentacles can talk about like a stable foundation. I wonder if because of the foundation that you've set for yourself, that you're finally able to do this healing work that they weren't able to do, or that from beyond the veil, because they are very stable or like materially grounded, even though they're in like spirit form now, that they're helping you do that so that you can have the time and space to do this healing work. And it is like a reciprocity for them, because as you focus on doing your like healing work, but like, counting that sand, putting it in the bucket, whatever, they're benefiting as well. Like they're overseeing the little sandcastle. They're they're helping, but they're also receiving from you doing this work, because as you heal, that helps set them free and helps them move on as well. Then you have the Ace of Cups, which talks about self-care, finding balance with yourself, treating yourself well. And again, this is going to look different for everybody. For some, self-care, you can see there's like the sun and moon. So for some, if you have a lot of sun in you on this side, the self-care is going to be through the opposite side, through going in, through being still, through allowing yourself to get calm and introspective, and to feel your feelings. And for some of you, if you're more on this side of the moon of feeling like maybe like lower energy or more melancholic, the medicine for you is going to be to stoke that inner fire and to get movement and to get exercise and to do things that light you up and excite you. So this group, part of your healing is actually just balancing yourself and finding what strikes that balance for you, because it's from that place that this healing is going to take place. And then you have the Prince of Wands as your final card. The Prince of Wands talks about movement, fast movement, communication. For some of you, it might be that your guides are actively wanting to communicate with you. Guides meaning like ancestors, like there are ancestors that are actively trying to speak with you, and so you can put out the intention that you be receptive, that your clair's open, whether it's like hearing them or seeing something like in the physical world or behind your eyes that helps you get the message, or even feeling their emotion. I do feel as though there's like I like want to cry right now. Like there's a specific guy that really, really, really wants to talk to you. Like, but you need to welcome them in. I actually feel like I'm gonna cry right now. Like maybe you've experienced some of their pain and they can see that, and that's why they're here trying to help you, because they don't want you to be suffering. And the reason that you're suffering is because they went through this suffering and, you know, your blood. And so, you know, it was handed on to you, and they really want to be there to help you so that they can move on too, and so that you can have a beautiful life. That feels like I just got really overwhelmed with tears. So I don't know if there's someone in your family that you were close to that passed on, that you had a strong emotional connection with, but just know that they are here with you, and that they want you to heal, and they're with you for the healing. Yeah, it also talks about having the faith to make that move. I keep want to say Page of Wands, the Prince of Wands. I wonder if this person had like a very youthful energy similar to yours, and like maybe they couldn't figure out how to express it in the world either, and so, you know, you were handed that on, and so they're like living vicariously through you too, and trying to like encourage you, like, yes, like be in that Page of Cups and Page of Wands energy. Part of this too, this is the Prince of Wands, but I kept thinking Page of Wands for some reason. The Prince of Wands talks about like having the faith to just like do, you know, to not worry about the logistics of it, to not worry about if it's grounded or rooted in reality, to not worry about how you're going to benefit, to not worry about how you're going to impact others, but just doing it because you're actually feeling called in your heart. I really feel like group 4 like should listen to group 1. I really think group 4 should listen to group 1. Or vice versa, if you were in group 1 and you're listening to this now, then this is just a confirmation for you. I wonder if there's something about alcohol too, because these guys are at a bar. So that might be it for some of you if you're someone who's more melancholic, and it makes you sad to drink, to like maybe stop drinking at least for a while. And if you're someone who's really prone to like anger and getting fired up, and alcohol does that too, to also just like maybe take a step back. I feel like the one exception for this group might be people who are very like in their head all the time, and if alcohol like helps get you out of your head, it's a pattern to be aware of, but it might not be throwing you off balance as long as you're not like overdoing it, right? So that's a message for some of you out there. But I do just really feel like this guide is trying to approach you, like this ancestor, this passed on loved one. They're trying to like offer you something, or like understand you, or have you understand them even. But they're definitely very much with you. They've been with you, oh my god, I want to cry again. For some of you, they've been with you since you were a child, or since you were very young. And they're following you like through adulthood. Because I'm just being drawn to like, there's like this little child and then this like older person, and it's like they've been there, they've been with you. They've been making sure that you're safe. If there have been circumstances that you have felt like something bad should have happened but didn't. It didn't, because this guide was actively protecting you. Yeah. And they just really want you to take care of yourself. I'm also being drawn to how these two connect, because it just feels like the little guy and this guy are kind of the same size. And I feel like this guide is just like, hey, little one, like, please take care of yourself. Please balance yourself. Okay, and then just looking at the top and bottom of your deck, we have the Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. So there's a couple of messages here with these. One is that you may be feeling blocked from this communication, like you haven't been able to receive it because of some sort of way that you block yourself physically. Maybe again through something from childhood, because it's a page which talks about youth, like something that you picked up from childhood that you do to your body that's been blocking you from accessing your clairvoyant senses, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. Might be being blocked because of something physical. Going in the woods might help you. I'm just like noticing like this person is like walking free in the woods. And also, like, if you've been feeling like you can't move forward on something that you're starting, ask this ancestor for help, because there's like maybe a project or something you've been wanting to begin that you haven't done it for some reason, and it's wrapped up with this karma. So yeah, that's a final message for you. I feel like there's maybe a physical energy that's been trapping you in, and you're being called to sort of open up spiritually in your heart too, I feel, especially, which can be a place of spiritual awakening as well in your heart, to healing your family line. So thank you so much, Group 4, for watching. I really hope that this message and medicine has been helpful for you. If it resonated with you and you'd like to go deeper, you can book a private reading with me. That information is in the description below. And I just want to thank you again for showing up, supporting the... Hi, Group 4. Sorry about that. My camera just died right at the end. So I feel like this is an additional message for you, actually, that be wary of burnout. Like, if you push yourself too hard and then in the end you're not able to push through, the final, 100 meters, whatever, of your race. Or like maybe if you're somebody who, as you start to really get close to breakthrough, you self-sabotage because you're so used to being stuck in these old ways of being that it can be uncomfortable for you to imagine stepping outside of that. I really feel like it's just extra important that you allow yourself to do this work, this balancing work, this inner child healing, and opening yourself up to this ancestor or this guide, because they are definitely with you, whoever this group is. There's like very strongly an energy of a passed on loved one who's with you. And again, I would really recommend listening to Group 1. If this is resonating with you. They have the card of Angel, and I just feel like, for some of you, there is like this angel that's with you that like really wants you to be working with them. So yeah, thanks again, Group 4, for watching, and I wish you a happy healing. Thanks again.